Each autumn, the waters of the Pocomoke River ripple with remembrance, resilience, and hope. That is because for the past 16 years, the annual Jesse's Paddle brings together friends, family, and neighbors in honor of Jesse Klump, a Snow Hill High senior whose life ended too soon.
Yeah, what began as a way to keep Jesse's memory alive through scholarships has grown into a powerful movement for youth suicide awareness and prevention. With every paddle stroke, participants not only celebrate the joy Jesse found on the river, but also send a message of compassion and support to those who may be struggling. With more on that, we are joined with Katrine Huber. He is the executive director of the Jesse Klump Memorial Fund, and Tiffany Berry. She is the vice president. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So for those who have never attended, how would you describe the spirit and purpose of Jesse's Paddle?
So Jesse was a young man who took his own life. So we want to give hope and have an event that is fun to come to. You can paddle, you can, for $35 a person, you get a canoe or a paddleboard is an option too, and you can participate in our event. It's our fundraiser, so if someone wants to become a sponsor, we would love to have you. And so we help to bring people together, bring hope, and make connections.
Yeah. So for those who you knew Jesse, can you share a little bit about who he was and why the river was so important to him?
So he was one of those children who you never would have thought that he would actually, consider taking his own life. And his mom, looking back now, says, she just thought he has the typical teenager sadness, but there were signs that now that we learned a lot about it, you would be more aware. But at the moment, he was a wonderful student in school, no problems there. He had a lot of friends, and he loved the outdoors. Mm-hmm. So, the whole package of being a kid, you would think, everything goes well. And that's why we make it also our message. We want to talk to all young people and talk about looking out for each other, because they know so much more about each other's friends. So I go a lot to school. Tiffany, she does an ecotherapy camp in the summer, just opening those kids up to those conversations so that we as adults are more aware of it and we can give help.
Yeah. So the event started as a scholarship program in Jesse's memory, but how has it grown to include suicide prevention and awareness efforts?
So the program has grown over 17 years now, starting with scholarships. We continue the scholarships at that master's level for mental health therapists and encourage them to stay within the community. But we also have really taken a turn into youth suicide prevention. We do a lot of work in the schools, in their health classes, after-school programs, summer camps, infusing the sense of communication. How do we recognize signs in each other? How do we say something? And we try to present it in a way that's fun, promoting kindness, promoting communication, just make it a little more, it's a tough subject to talk about with kids. So we try to bring it in a way that bringing them outdoors, doing art projects, working together. So it really has expanded over the years to also include workshops that we do for adults, professionals, teaching them all how to recognize the signs of suicide and what we can do to prevent it.
There's also during the actual event, there is a scavenger hunt. And tell us a little bit about why that is so important to the effort.
Well, sure. So the event essentially takes place on the river. So you have your canoe, your paddleboard, or your kayak, and you're set off into the river. And there are 5 locations where you will get a set of cards. So you have this wonderful paddle. It's beautiful evening in the fall, and you can take your time. And as you go along, we like to offer this time as reflection, time to be outdoors in memory of Jesse, but it's also fun. And you work your way around to 5 different stations along the river, pick up your cards, return to the Pocomoke River Canoe Company, and there you turn in your cards and see if you have a winning hand, and there's prizes at the end.
That's wonderful. It's really a lot of fun. I've done it before, and if you're interested in participating, it is happening Saturday, September 20th from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Pocomoke River Canoe Company. That's on River Street, right as you get in to Snow Hill, Maryland. You cannot miss it. Katrine and Tiffany, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us about this wonderful event.
I hope we see you. Thank you.